All right, so we are back again with a new type of ad here. We just finished doing the promote a listing one. This one is a little more creative out of the box. This is really designed to help inspire you, hopefully to inspire you to see some of the other ideas that you can do. This is a great one for if you don't have a specific listing to promote. What we're going to do with this campaign is create an image around some recently price reduced houses to induce people to get to register to your website so they can get the information for all of those price reduced houses in the area. And I'm sure, again, this is just an example of one that you can run. I'm sure there are a lot more creative people out there than me, and they can even get a better call to action than what we have here. So if you didn't watch the promote a listing campaign video that I put together, go back and watch that one because I'm going to go through this one a little bit quicker. So this is for those people who hopefully have watched or done an ad before. This is just to inspire a different type that you can run today and to generate some pretty good traffic off of. So to do that, we're going to again start with create a new campaign. Going to do a paid social ad. In this case, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to call this campaign price reduced Wilmington for 18, I think is the date. Yes, it is. Don't know what day it is anymore. Go ahead and we're going to choose attract buyers as our goal for this one. And you'll see a couple things that are a little different, but for the most part, like I mentioned in the last video, they do a lot of the same functionality. So again, we're going to check off Facebook and Instagram. Whether you use them at a high level or not, you want it to show up where people are most interested in it. So go ahead and set up campaign from there. You'll notice on this one, it doesn't automatically pull in a listing because we are not pulling in a specific listing. You can if you want to pull a photo. My recommendation on that would be not to, because if you have a photo of a house that really attracts people and then they get to that website and they can't find that photo on any of the properties, then I could see that being misleading or is conceived as misconstrued as misleading. So, but it doesn't pull in a listing, so we're not going to add a listing in this case. The first place we're going to start is with add text. So again, your main copy is what's going to show up above the photo. Then you have your photo, your headline, and then finally your description, your call to action. So we are going to go with 20 houses. I have this number. So I'm going to choose a specific price point on this because there were too many on the map for it to work for me ahead of time. I changed it to 200 to 350,000. And I'm going to leave that as my main copy. You can, again, I'm sure there are more creative people to get a better call, a better headline than a better main copy there than that. I am going to use a headline of browse browse price reduced homes in Wilmington. That's going to be that headline on there. We got my alarm going off there. That's always cool and fun. And then my description is going to be check them out today, exclamation point. Pretty simple call to action. They're all well below the recommendation, so you should get some good traffic, not too wordy on that. Once you have that all set, you're gonna go ahead and hit save add text. And then this is where it starts getting fun. This is where the creativity comes in. So what we're going to do with this ad to kind of give an overview of it is we are going to send them to one of the great features on the KW agent site that's already there and working great. And hopefully, I'm sure they'll be adding more of these features down the road, are a specific list, a criteria, a sort, so to speak, of price reduced houses. So we're going to drive them to a page on our website. So this is our Reach Properties website, and we're going to search for houses in Wilmington. We get North Carolina would be the best for this ad. And you'll see what that done. I already have the search criteria set up, so it's going to default to that last one. I have between $200,000 and $350,000, and then under more, I have this radio button towards the end that has price reduced. So what that did is it created this pretty cool picture right here that I have captured into a picture on my desktop. So you'll see that photo is up here on my desktop, and so you can capture that screen capture and use that as your media. So that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is over here on add media, we're going to configure that. And because we didn't select a listing this time, there's no defaulted media. So we're going to go ahead and select media. We're going to hit add images. You also have the option to add a video. We're going to add images. So here's some great functionality here that they've recently added, and it's working pretty well. Browse design library. If you create a design in KW Command Design, you can pull it right in without having to go download it from somewhere else. That's going to be the next video that we're going to do. We're going to pull something in from there. So in this case, we're going to upload an image, and we're going to drag or drop or browse my files for that. So I happen to have that on my desktop, and it's a screenshot from yesterday at 1:01. I have that's the one that I want to pull in. I'm going to go ahead and preview and crop image. Sometimes the resolution, they don't love that. I could have created a higher res photo on that. We're going to bring it in, preview and crop that image. We're going to make sure that we get the info that we really want on there. And you'll see that created a pretty cool image on there for a, so that's going to draw people in. They're going to see a map, it's going to see Wilmington, have all these prices on it, and you can clearly see what they're going to get to. So their call to action is very clear there. Browse price reduced homes in Wilmington. And then let's go ahead and save add media. And now the next part is going to be where we're going to be sending them to. So that's the Facebook and Instagram ads configure. I'm going to go ahead and the first thing you need to do, same thing with all of the ads, is choose which page. It does have to be connected to a business page. So we're going to choose Reach Properties again for this one. Your Instagram ad position, again, you have the choice to choose whether it's going to be on the Instagram, like in the news feed, or in the Instagram story as a sponsored post on there. We're going to keep it as Instagram ad. Next option that you have to set is where is your destination. So what are you going to use for them? So you have two options again. You have the option to use a Facebook lead generation form or to send them to a site. So the site that we're sending them to, which is our KW agent site, doesn't have that lead capture behind it. So we're going to rely on the Facebook lead generation form to capture that. And you'll see a little difference here under the call to action. You now have sign up, learn, apply now, learn more. I'm going to keep it as learn more. And now the follow-up destination URL, we're going to go back to our Reach Properties KW agent site. So this search criteria, and the great part about this is as your ad is running for the 10 days or whatever it is, you have the, it's going to be a dynamic link. So it's going to show the most recent price reduction. So if this ad is running for 10 days and the number, it's going to show only the most recent price reduced house. So it's always a dynamic link for you based on this search criteria. So it created its own unique URL. We're going to go ahead and copy that URL, and we're going to paste that into the destination URL. So what that's saying is once they give us their information from Facebook, it's going to send them to this website. And then again, you have the option to choose your targeting. And you can target your database. You can retarget leads on your database. That's an advanced functionality we're going to show in a future video. Or you can create a custom audience. Because it didn't pull in a location, because we didn't pull in a listing, we do have to tell it where we're going to look. So we're going to choose hopefully Wilmington. Here we go, Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, lowest you can go is 15 miles. It won't let you go below that. Expert targeting, we talked about that in a previous video. I would leave that alone and let Facebook algorithm do its work, let the AI and the data points that they have to get it in front of the most likely people to register. Go ahead and hit save Facebook and Instagram ads. And then the last part is to choose your duration and budget. Again, it's going to default to 10 days. Now, this is an ad that I can see having a good run length for you. You can just leave this one out there and let it simmer, because again, it's always going to be a dynamic link. And that's one of the things that you might want, if you're going to leave it out there for, let's just say 30 days, let it run $50 for 30 days, see what it does. You can just change it to hit search houses in Wilmington, price between, that have price reduced in the last 7 days. And that gets out of that number going up and down on there. So again, you have the option to change the duration, change your campaign budget. And then the final thing, as I mentioned in a previous video, it's going to default to spending $1.50 a day on Facebook and $1.50 a day on Instagram. To keep your cost per lead in its best place, a better option for some people may be to use automatic placements. So I'm going to check off the automatic placements, and that's going to say that it's going to spend that $3 a day in the place where it's getting the best bang for your dollars on there. So it's going to dynamically adjust. Some days it may have better luck on Instagram. Some days it may be running better on Facebook. It's going to dynamically change that for you. The final thing you do there is save duration and budget, and you have all green check marks here. You are ready to go ahead and publish this as a campaign. I'm not going to do that because I already have a bunch of ads running right now. I'm going to go back to paid ads. Once you hit submit a published campaign, it's going to bring you back to the screen here. The status will show pending review. Once it is approved, it will go to this green active. If for some reason it gets rejected, it's going to show up in red and say rejected, and it will actually now have a reason for that rejection on there. So that's a more creative ad that you could run when you maybe when you don't have a specific listing, or something you can always have out there for you. You can do that for all sorts of things, you know, maybe beach houses, you can do price points, you can do anything like that. And again, I'm sure there'll be more searchable criteria coming soon to the agent website. So that is all for this one. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. And we'll be back with more ideas around some ads you can create. So hope you enjoyed. Bye.